Okay, so the reason we started talking about string interpolation in the last video is to introduce the idea of format or f-strings. Those are two different approaches to interpolation that are a little bit cleaner than the concatenation operator that we just showed. So let's do this in a really simple way. So let's make a variable. Let's call it integer. Just make, I don't know, 97. And let's make a string, and we're going to go ahead and interpolate the integer into that string. So string is going to get my chihuahua is, and let's do dot format, which takes these braces, is something years old in dog years, and then at the end of this we can put dot format, and we can say integer, and maybe I'll just call this age just to be, you know, something, just to be more accurate to what I mean. So I'm going to print this string, and let's see what that does. My chihuahua is 97 years old in dog years. So that's kind of cool. That means that we can have a variable here where we don't have to constantly change anything here. And 72, so this is just basic interpolation. It's just cleaner. So this is dot format. I used to use dot format all the time. My preference, though, is f-strings, because you can even just see how clean that is, right? You put an f at the beginning of the string, and you can just take the variable and throw it in between braces, and that should work as well. And it does. My chihuahua is 72 years old in dog years. So that's kind of that's the majority of how we want to think about this. And I want to just show you, so let's say 5. So let's say 5 years later, so you can actually do operations in here. You can say age plus time passed. Well, let's see what that does. And it does, in fact, add 5 to 72 and still interpolate it. So that's cool. We could make another variable called animal, and let's say animal gets penguin. Oh, that should be a string. My chihuahua is 77 years old in penguin years. That works. So you can interpolate multiple values. If you use dot format, well, let's just take a look at dot format in this case. This isn't as pretty, I think, but you should see it. So let's do age plus time passed, comma, animal. And this will work. Oh, VS Code. All right. Oh, what am I missing? I am missing... Oh, I'm missing nothing. I didn't save it. All right. I am missing something. Animal, let's see. F-string, empty. Oh, I left the F on the front. Okay. So when I run this, we can see that works. And what's happening here is age is going to this first set of curly braces, and age plus time passed is going to the first set, and then animal is going to the second set. You can be explicit about this as well. If you, let's say, if you do something like, you can index it, right? So there's a way to do that. Like, let's say there's the 0th. Think about dot format as returning, as interpolating something like a tuple so you can index what's happening here. So if I run this, it says the same thing, but if I switch around the 0 and the 1, and you might ask yourself, why would you ever do this? So my Chihuahua is penguin years old in 77 years. This is part of why I really like the f-string format, and I'm just going to recommend that you use f-strings instead of .format. You're just less prone to make those kinds of errors. Things will sit exactly where you expect them to, and that's kind of nice. And it's readable, right? So that works. Now, something to consider is maybe you have a float. Let's say the age is 97, or sorry, 72.9734675 years. And this comes up a lot in terms of precision, where you want to throw away some stuff to the right of the decimal point because it doesn't mean anything anymore. And yeah, you're going to be performing a lot of calculations. You're going to get rounding errors, all these things. So it's a good idea to limit to a certain number of decimal points. And since this is a float, age is a float now, we can go ahead and limit it. So in this case, it's age, and then you're just going to say colon, and let's try 0.2f and see what happens. Notice this colon and then 0.2f. What that does is it limits us to 2 decimal places, and that's really convenient, right? So let's do 0.45f. Let's do 0.5f. And as you can see, we get 5 to the right of the decimal place. So this, you can also do this with format. I really am just pushing f-strings. I think they're great. The Python community made an amazing choice by introducing f-strings, and I'm going to recommend you use them. But you're going to you're going to see .format a lot, especially in older Python 3 code. So be familiar with that as well. But I'm just going to recommend that you use f-strings in general.